What it do, what it did, what it does. How y'all doing today? I am so excited for this new Bible story series. This is going to be so much fun. The first story that we have for this week is Noah's Ark. You might have heard it before, you might not have. Either way, please sit back and enjoy the story. The story starts out and it says that God was sad and disappointed because the people that he made were not doing what was right. People were so evil all of the time. And when I say evil, I mean evil. Like, you know when you pour in a bowl of cereal and then when you're done pouring it and there's only this much milk left and you could like either drink the rest, put the rest in your bowl, or put it back in the fridge? All of these people will put it back into the fridge. Pure evil. So because everybody was so evil, God decided that he was going to flood the earth with water to destroy all the people who were there. The water that God was using, it was meant to destroy. So I don't think that it was like pure leaf puree water coming through a filter or anything. I think that what God did was he just stuck a hose right up to Flint, Michigan and let the water flow. There was a man named Noah, and God was pleased with Noah because how Noah was living his life. God was pleased with that because Noah was living his life for God. The book says God told Noah about his plan to destroy people with a big flood because they were so evil. But God cared about Noah's safety, so he told Noah how to be safe through the flood. God said to Noah, I'm going to put an end to all people. So what you need to do is make yourself an ark, which is just a big old boat. The ark needed to be big, strong, and safe for Noah, his family, and all of the animals that God wanted him to take with him on the ark. There was going to be a whole lot of animals. So when you think about it, God wasn't actually having Noah build an ark. He was having him build a 3-story Motel 6. Because if you've ever stayed in a Motel 6 before, you know that there are always more animals living inside those walls than people. Then God said, you and your sons' wives will go into the ark. And you will bring 2 of all animals into the ark with you to keep them safe through the flood. Whew. He said, take every kind of food you and your family and all the animals will need so all of you can eat while you are on the ark together. There was going to be so many different types of animals. I can only imagine the scent, the aroma, the stench that filled this boat. Sweet baby Jesus, that had to be disgusting. Look, I have 2 dogs and 2 cats, okay? And that is 2 dogs and 2 cats too many. So I can only imagine what Noah was having to go through. Lord have mercy on this man. Part of me wonders if God picked Noah to be the one to take care of these animals, because you never know. Noah might have been the last person on earth that didn't have any allergies. Noah and his 3 sons built the ark just the way God told them to, and it took a long time for him and his sons to build this thing. It took Noah and his sons 120 years to build the ark. 120 years. And before you think to yourself, oh well, that's a pretty long time to be playing around with some Lincoln logs, think about it. I know people, and I know that you know people, who have spent more than 120 years building a Star Wars Lego set. And it said that Noah put food into the ark and he brought his family onto that gigantic Motel 6. Now God sent 2 of all types of animals. And there were so many different types of animals. Lord have mercy on Noah and his family. I don't know who had to carry the pooper scooper, but good luck to you. And everything was ready. And then God shut the doors. Oh, excuse me. God sent the rain just as he said he would, and so much rain fell that even the tallest mountains were covered with water. The tallest mountains. The only mountains that I really even know are like Mount Sinai, Mount Everest, and the mountains that I used to get on my forehead in middle school. Everything was covered with water, and everything on earth died. But God kept Noah and his family and the animals safe just as he said he would. Now what we can learn from just even this first part of the story is that when you listen to God, when you're following what God is telling you to do, you will always be right. It took Noah 120 years to build this Motel 6. You don't think that all his friends and all his neighbors were like, hey yo Noah, what are you building this big old boat for? What are you doing, buddy? It doesn't even rain around here. You don't think Noah was getting bullied or people were telling Noah, hey, what are you doing, dude? You stop being a fool, Noah. Noah was saying, I'm following what God has planned for me. Because when you follow what God is telling you to do, you will always be right. God stopped the rain, thankfully, after 40 days and 40 nights. Noah and his family and all the animals were safe, floating on the water. Everything else was destroyed. Now slowly the water started to dry up and more land appeared. Finally, the ark landed on a mountain. So Noah opened up the window of the ark so the sun could shine in. I can only imagine how pale and crusty these people were after 40 days and 40 nights with no sunlight. This might have actually been how albinos were created. We don't know for a fact, but it might have been. I can see Noah's kids, when he opens up the blinds, they're like, close the blinds, Dad, close the blinds. Right, and then some of the other ones are like, oh, finally, some sunlight. My eyes almost started to give up on full control. When Noah stepped on dry ground, he wanted to show love and thankfulness to God for letting them survive that horrible disaster. So Noah built an altar and he started praying and he thanked God. They were probably singing some Casting Crown song. It was probably a big old party. And that must have felt amazing to just be able to sing, pray, and worship with your son's wives, your wife, and Betty White. She obviously survived the flood. Okay. God was pleased that Noah showed his love by obeying and thanking him. So, God made a promise to Noah, and what he did was, after he made this promise, he sealed the deal by showing a rainbow. So that's what a rainbow is. A rainbow is a sign from God of the promise that he made to Noah on that day. And the promise that God made to Noah on that day was that he would never flood the earth again. Only parts of Louisiana. And I hope that you enjoyed this story. Noah's Ark is a great story to look at when you're struggling maybe with listening to what God's trying to tell you. And we can always look back to stories like this and realize that when we listen to God, we will always be doing what is right, no matter what everybody else around us is telling us to do. When we listen to God, we know we are following on the right path. I am so excited to be making this series. I hope you guys are all excited too. Every single Monday I'm going to be coming out with a new Bible story, new jokes, and another message. So I hope that you all come back for the next one. Thank you all, and God bless.